Good morning and welcome to episode 88 of the Giddy Knits podcast. As always, I am Helen and I am coming to you from Dundee in Scotland, where I live with my husband Tom and my two boys, Arthur, who is 7, and Jasper, who is 4. I very nearly said that Arthur's 6. Still haven't quite got used to that one. Today is Sunday the 21st of February, and as always, this is my crafty knitting podcast where I share basically the projects that I've been working on, the progress that's been made, whatever crafty things I'm doing. Usually mostly knitting, occasionally some crochet, actually quite often crochet at the moment because I'm working on a big crochet blanket. And yeah, welcome to the video. As always, I welcome back everyone that watches regularly. Thank you so much for checking the video out, and if you're new, then thank you for coming and joining us. I hope you enjoy the video. This week is another shorter episode, so I will just be focusing on kind of the works in progress and things that I've been working on recently, mostly my knitting projects and stuff like that. If you are new and you don't know who I am, as I said, I am Helen, and I am the dyer behind Giddy Yarns. Yeah, you can find show notes down underneath the video, as well as links to where you can find me elsewhere on the internet, links to my website and all of that kind of thing. I will also try and link any projects and patterns and yarn companies and things like that that I talk about during the video. I'll try and link them down below in the show notes as well. What else? That's about it, isn't it? I think that's the standard introduction. Nice hot cup of tea. Right, what have I got to share with you this week? As always, I'm going to start with a little admin section, just a quick review of our make-alongs that we've got running. I have a finished object. I have a big finished object this week. I'm quite excited about it. I can't quite believe I finished it. I've got one work in progress that you've seen that I'm going to have a little chat about. I've got a little tiny new cast on to share as well. And I thought, seeing as I don't have much else in the way of works in progress, I would talk about a couple of projects that are going to be coming out of hibernation now that I have finished what I have finished. Quick update on my advent blanket, and I've got a tiny bit of yarny goodness to talk about, although it's not actually yarny goodness this week, it's more of an acquisitions of other kinds. And then I will finish up with a little bit of shop news as well. Right, let me put my cup of tea down. So admin stuff. We have got 2 make-alongs currently running. There is, as always, the ongoing Giddy Yarns make-along that I'm running throughout the year, kind of forever. Basically, as long as your project uses at least 50% of my yarn, and as long as it's been finished within the quarter that you're entering it in, then you can enter it for win a prize. This quarter goes up until the end of March, and I will be drawing prizes at the end of March. But yeah, anything that uses 50% Giddy Yarns is eligible to be entered, and yeah. You can enter all of the make-alongs over in the Ravelry Group. There are threads in the Ravelry Group for all of the make-alongs that we've got running. There are also hashtags on Instagram. So for the Giddy Yarns make-along, you could use the hashtag Giddy Yarns FO, and that will get you an entry. I will be going through the hashtag and taking any posts that have been solely made on Instagram and adding them in to the Ravelry list when I draw the prizes. We also have our wrapping up the whips make along, and there is only 1 week left for that, so I hope you are getting through those whips, getting through those works in progress. Basically any project that you started prior to 2021 is eligible to enter, and as long as you get it into the finished object thread by the end of February, then you are eligible for a prize from the finished object thread. But I will be drawing prizes from the finished object thread on Ravelry. I will be drawing prizes from the chatter thread, and I will also be drawing a prize from the Instagram hashtag. So make sure that you are chatting, make sure that you're using the hashtag on Instagram, and make sure that you are putting your finished objects into the finished object thread. Prize wise, I'd meant to get the prizes out. I have got a few prizes tucked away that I will be giving for those. I will get them out next week and share them with you. I must make sure I actually do that. They are all yarny prizes, courtesy of me, courtesy of Giddy Yarns, because obviously I have yarn that I can give away. Right, did I say hashtag for that one? Hopefully I will have put it up on the screen, but it is wrapping up those whips, MAL for make along, and that is the hashtag for the entry for that one. Right, let's move on to FOs, finished objects, because I am quite excited about the finished object that I've got to share with you. Are you ready? I have finished my Vertices Unite, and it is massive, and I'm not even sure I'm going to be able to get it on the screen, but it is completely finished. I've woven all the ends in, but I haven't blocked it yet, so I've not trimmed the ends off completely. I will do that once it's blocked and dried, so you might see a few little ends popping up here and there, but it is all finished. So this is the first section, is this section here, and then the second section is this section here, and then the third section was this big purple section. I can't see what I'm showing you on the camera, but hopefully you can see it. And then the fifth section is the blue, the sixth section is this stripy section, and then the final section is this one at the end. And then it is all bordered with an I-cord bind off, which took me all day yesterday. I literally knit on this all day yesterday. I ignored everyone in the house. I let the children do what they wanted. I let Tom do what he wanted. And I sat and I knit and I got this finished. But I love the I-cord bind off. You do it in the colour that is this section. I can't remember what this section is, section 4. And it goes all the way around in that same colour. So mine is the blue. And I really like how the blue looks all the way around. But it is, yeah, it is beautiful. I can't quite believe I got this finished. I knit the large size. Let's see if I can pop it on. I mean, I would probably just wear it. I would probably just wear it like this. All cozy, and it's squishy, and it is absolutely lovely. I knit the large size. There's 2 sizes in the pattern. So the pattern, if I've failed to mention, which I think I might have failed to mention the designer, the pattern is the Vertices Unite shawl, which is a pattern by Stephen West. And there's 2 sizes in the pattern. There's a small size and there's a large size. And I chose to knit the large size because I do like a big shawl. Yeah, I just like the coziness of it. The thing that's really nice about this pattern is that even though I knit the large size, there was no point where there were ridiculously long rows, because obviously it's the way it's knit in sections. I think the longest row I had at any point was possibly in this section here. Yeah, possibly in either in this section here, or yeah, no, I think that's probably, or maybe this section here, maybe, but that's it. That's the longest rows. And actually a lot of this section you're working in short rows for the shaping, so the rows are getting shorter as you're going along. So possibly the longest bit was this bit here, which is not massive. I mean, a lot of the Stephen West shawls, you've got kind of 500 plus stitches on the needles when you're getting towards the end, and that is a lot, and I find that really, really hard. But yeah, because it's worked in sections, you don't get any massive long rows. I will say there were a couple of bits that were a little bit trickier when it comes to picking up the stitches for kind of, was it for this section? This bit here, when it comes to picking up the stitches for the third section, this section here, that took a little bit of getting used to because of the way you're having to pick up the stitches on each end. But I found a quick Google and I found a few videos that showed kind of how to do it best, and it seems to have worked out okay. What else was a bit tricky? I think that was the main thing. Picking up all the stitches around the outside took a long time, and I should have done it on longer needles. And obviously the I-cord bind off took a long time, but an I-cord bind off takes ages anyway. But it's a relatively simple bind off. But yeah, I'm really pleased with it. The back is actually quite clever as well, because I really like how it still looks really nice on the back, even where you've picked up the stitches. I think it's still got quite a nice finish on the back as well. But yeah, I can't quite believe that I have got this beast finished. It needs a block, definitely. Whether I've got a big enough floor space to block it, I don't know. But I'm really, really, really pleased with it. And I've been saying that when I finish it, I'll go through the colours. So I will do that now. I'm going to take it back off again to go through the colours. So the first section was knit using 2 colours striped together. So for this section I used these 2 colours. So this one is Bramble from Debbie at Down Sheepy Lane. Apologies for the state of my nails. I have been dyeing yarn all week and they're not in a very good condition. This one is Bramble from Down Sheepy Lane. They're all on a merino nylon base. This one is Colour of the Jelly of the Month, I think it was called, from Suburban Stitcher. It's really, really pretty. I've definitely got the least left of this one. And then the second section, striped 2 colours together. And it striped the blue and the green, which I think, have I got those separately or not? No, the green gets striped here as well with the Bramble colourway. And then the blue is on its own in this section here. So the blue is this one here, which is, it was called Hold On Tight, and it's again a colour from Down Sheepy Lane. It was one of her Tim Burton colourways from her Tim Burton Yarn Club. It's really, really pretty. And then the green is another Down Sheepy Lane. This was Witcher inspired colourway. I can never know how to say it. Geralt or Geralt of Rivia. Really, really pretty. And I've got a decent amount of this left. I need to weigh it, but I've definitely got well over 50 grams of this left. So this is definitely going to get used in another project at some point. And then the final colour that I used is, if I can find it, is this colour here, which was in this big, big section. And that was a Nora George colourway, and it was called Grurple, which is this gorgeous kind of grey purple with little specks of green in. Really, really pretty. So if I can grab them all, they are all the colours that I used. And as you can see, I've got varying amounts left, definitely more of the green, but a fair amount of each of them left. So they'll go into various other projects eventually. But yeah, that is my Vertices Unite, finally finished. And I'm really, really pleased with it. Ta-da! Right, let's move on. Right, works in progress. I've been working on my opal socks, which are living in this lovely little space bag from the little grey girl. And both of these, oh no, not quite, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so these are nearly both ready for heels, I think. So as you'll know, because I've talked about it before, I've been knitting my socks concurrently. And here they are. So fun. I mean, as you can tell, I'm not matching them at all. I'm not worried about them matching in any way. I kind of feel like with some of these kind of commercial yarns, sometimes a bit of an odd sock is quite fun. If I was knitting with a hand-dyed stripe, I probably would match them, but with a commercial sock yarn, it doesn't bother me if they don't match. But yeah, I've decided to do slightly shorter legs with these. So I've done 50 rounds for the leg. This one is ready for a heel. I've done 50 rounds for the leg. I think I did 15 rounds for the cuff, something like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 14, 15. Yeah, 15 rounds for the cuff. And then 50 rounds for the leg. I'm going to just pop a short row heel in. I haven't quite decided if I'm going to just carry on in the yarn and do a short row heel in this yarn, or whether I might put a contrast in. I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure. Part of me, I love a contrast heel. I really, really like a contrast heel. So I'm always tempted to put a contrast heel in. There's just something about the way it breaks up the patterning of a sock that I really, really enjoy. But at the same time, I don't know if I've got a yarn that I could use that's a close enough match to this commercial kind of yarn. I've got some Drops Fable, but it tends to be a bit thinner. So that puts me off slightly, putting in a heel. And I don't really want to use a normal merino nylon because the base will be so different. So maybe I will just go down and do the heel in this one here. I don't know. I haven't decided. But on the second sock, I am only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm 4 rows away from being ready for the heel on that one. So hopefully these will be finished by the end of February. That is my plan, but it does mean that I need to get them finished this week. I'm hoping to enter them into the Stripy Sock Cal being hosted by Sharon of the SCR1 TNA podcast. So I need to get on with them, basically. I need to get on with them. I've shared the yarn before, but I am knitting them out of Opal sock yarn, and it's their Opal Fairy Tale. And this is the Laughing Elf colourway, the Elfenlaken colourway. There we go. I got it from Suffolk Socks. But it's really, really fun, and I'm really enjoying how it's knitting up. I really enjoy commercial sock yarn. Like this kind of commercial sock yarn, this little self-patterning stuff. I really enjoy it, and I don't knit with it enough. I really don't. I really do need to make more commercial socks because I really do enjoy the way that they knit up. Right, new cast on. This is a really little new cast on, and really it should be finished. I've just been really lazy and I haven't got the stuffing out of the drawer and done it. But I caked up the yarn that Arthur dyed. This is the yarn that he dyed using the snow dyeing technique that we did a couple of weeks ago. I think I shared the finished skeins on last week's episode. And it's really, I love how it's caked up. Really, really pretty. Very, very orange. But I'd said that I was going to make some little bluebirds of happiness for his teachers, because he kind of did the dyeing as part of homeschool. And so that is what I've done. So I've done one little bluebird of happiness. How cute is that? It was quite a quick project. I'm holding the yarns, 2 strands together because the pattern calls for worsted weight yarn, and this is obviously fingering weight. So I've kind of just held it together to get a rough DK / worsted. It won't be ideal, but with a project like this, it doesn't really matter. It's just going to affect the size of the overall project. It's got a little hole in its tail ready to be stuffed. And it's just really cute, isn't it? I'm thinking of maybe putting some lavender or something inside it when I stuff it as well, so that it's almost like a little lavender bird for his teachers. The pattern, as I said, is the Bluebird of Happiness pattern, which is by Sarah Elizabeth Kellner. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. I'm not sure if it's available off Ravelry. I haven't checked yet. If it is available off Ravelry, I will make sure to link both Ravelry and the place that it's available down below. But it's a free pattern, and it is really, really cute. And I'm hoping to get this stuffed and hopefully get another one knit sometime this week so that Arthur can take them into school, because he's going back to school tomorrow. Both of my boys are back at school tomorrow. Nursery to P3, which covers both of my children. go back tomorrow, which is amazing. I can't really explain how relieved I am. Anyway, but yeah, one little new cast on that's nearly a finished object. If I'd actually just, you know, stuffed it before I talked to you and sewn up the end, then it would be finished, but I didn't, so oh well. Right, coming out of hibernation projects, I thought I would share. There are 2 projects that now that I've finished my Vertices Unite, I'm hoping to start putting a little bit more work into. I'm certainly not allowed to cast on anything new, well, anything big. I can cast on new small things, but no new big things as of yet. So the 2 projects are, firstly, is my Advent shawl, living in the lovely bag from Ellie at Craft House Magic. And I started this at the beginning of January. I'm trying to work out which is the right side, and I haven't got very far. But here we go. I think I've done maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 colours. I'm working on the 5th colour. This is an Advent pattern. It's the Cupid's Arrow wrap. And I'm using the yarns from Spectrum Fibres. I had the Spectrum Fibres Advent calendar for 2020, and I'm using all of the minis from that to make the wrap. I can't show you all of them because most of them are downstairs, and the ones I've got in here are the ones I've already used and the one I'm currently working on. But I haven't made much progress, and I really need to get on with it, really. It's one of those things that I was really enjoying working on, but then I wanted to get other things finished, so it got put aside and all of that kind of stuff. But yeah, this is one of the projects that definitely needs to come out and get on the needles. Well, it's already on the needles. Get some more progress added to it. It's a relatively simple knit, relatively mindless. And now the kids are going back to school, then hopefully I might be able to work on this a little bit in between dye batches when I haven't got all the other things that come with running a business to do. But yeah, the pattern is, as I said, the Cupid's Arrow wrap, which is a pattern by Ellie of Craft House Magic, and the yarn is from Spectrum Fibres, and I am desperately hoping to be able to get this out more often. Can you hear the jingling? I'd like to get it finished. I don't want to set dates for getting it finished, but it would be nice to get it finished by the summer. And then the other thing that really, really needs finishing, it's living in another lovely bag from the little grey girl, is my campsite cardie. This just keeps getting put on hold when I have other projects to finish, but I really, really need to finish it. I am so bad at garment knitting. I am just so slow when it comes to big projects. But it's coming along. I mean, I'm doing well. I'm quite a long way down the body. I'd worked out what I was going to do with the next section with regards to the eyelet pattern and how I was going to change the eyelet pattern slightly. Yeah, so it is coming along. It is coming along. I'd try it on, but I can't really. I'm not sure I can. Oh no, I can't get my arms through my waist yarn. But yeah, I still really want it, and I really want to be able to wear it, and I really want it finished. But it's just taking its time, isn't it? Look how creased up it is because it's being shoved in the bag. The pattern is the Campsite Cardie by Alicia Plummer. And I'm knitting it in, I've dropped the ball of yarn. I'm knitting it in Eden Cottage Yarns in their Milburn, is it Milburn DK? Have I got another ball in? Oh no, I've got a ball band in here. Yeah, it's the Milburn DK from Eden Cottage Yarns. And it is a BFL, it's a Blue Faced Leicester silk blend. So it's 85% Blue Faced Leicester, 15% silk. And it's an absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous yarn blend. And I really, really think it's going to hold up beautifully. I think it's going to be super cozy. It's going to be really nice and soft and lovely, and it needs to get finished. I'm actually contemplating, when I pick it back up again, I'm actually contemplating starting working on one of the sleeves, because I know what I'm like, and if I leave the sleeves till last, it's going to take even longer to get finished. So I think maybe I need to pick it up and get the sleeves done, and then hopefully I'll be more enthusiastic to finish the body. Does that make sense? Does anyone else do that? Do you do sleeves first? Yeah, that might be the plan. I also might need to order some more yarn, because when I originally bought this yarn, I had a different project in mind. And I'm pretty sure that this project actually uses slightly more yarn than I had ordered. But this is a semi-commercial yarn. So it's quite easily available. So I will be able to order some more at some point. But yeah, 2 projects that need to come out of hibernation and need to get finished. So keep encouraging me to get those finished. Advent blanket progress. I'm going to have another sip of tea and then share my blanket. I am still trying to work on this with doing 1 square each day. And I think I've added this row since I last shared it with you. So I have added the yellow and the multicoloured row. See if I can share that a little bit clearer. There we go. On top of the other yellow and gold row, and now we've got like a brighter yellow and then a bit of variegated in there as well. So we're getting there with it. We've now got 4, 8, so 16, 17 rows out of 24. No, out of 7. No, what am I on about? 8, 9 rows. I can't add up at all. I don't know why I had 8. Maths on the podcast never goes well. I'm actually quite good at maths, but not with a camera in front of me, apparently. I have done 9 out of 12 rows. Each row has 2 colours in, and there are 24 colours in an advent calendar. And I am using 2 colours per row, so that means there will be 12 rows, half of 24. And I have knit 9 of them. Oh, dearie me, maths. The blanket started here with the purples, and then we went into the pinks, and then more kind of pinks, and then into the greys, which you can't quite see because it's on the bend there. Then into more purples with a lovely variegated in there, then into some reds, and then we've got into yellows and more yellows. And now from here we are moving into blues and greens. These are the next 2 colours that I'm working on. So I've got all 4 of the green squares done, and then 1 of the blue squares done, and these are the next ones to go in to the next row. So I've got 3 more to do of this. So that will be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then hopefully I will get them joined up on Wednesday evening and added onto the blanket. And then we've only got 4 more colours to go, 4 more bags, and it will be finished. So we're getting there with it. I'm still really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying having the kind of 1 square a day little thing on it, which is making steady progress. But yeah, it's coming on. Right, let's just pop that all on there. What else did I want to share with you? That is all of the kind of knitting-y, crafty kind of content, but I've got a little bit of acquisitions kind of stuff to share with you. And then I wanted to talk a little bit about shop news as well. Okay, so this radiator is not on and my cup of tea is going cold. Right, let me move a few bits and pieces out of the way. Oh, actually, one other thing quickly, crafty wise. I have caked up this skein of yarn. I need to separate it into 2 cakes actually, which I forgot to do, which is a little bit frustrating, but I will try and get that done this afternoon. But I have caked up a new skein of yarn to cast on some new socks, having finished my Autumn Adventures socks last week. And this skein of yarn is from Henny Penny Makes, and it is her Faded Christmas colourway. And it's one of the skeins of yarn that I picked out in December. I picked out 6 skeins of yarn as a kind of a little knitting goal to myself in December. I can't get the thing back in there. As a knitting goal to myself in December, with the aim that I wanted those 6 skeins of yarn turned into socks throughout this year. They actually live, let's see if I can do this. They actually just live up here. So these are, well, there's 5 there now. You can see 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 there now. And then there's another one tucked away on top that you can't quite see at the back. These, out of interest, are skeins of yarn that I've got caked up ready to use on my sock machine. So there's a ball of commercial, there's one that I dyed, I can't remember what, oh no, that's Toil and Trouble at the top there. And then these 3 are ones that me and Arthur dyed before Christmas. And they just need to get caked up. Anyway, let's come back to me. That'll do. Yeah, so this is one of my knitting goal skeins, which I've got caked up, ready to cast on. I'm thinking of doing some kind of pattern sock, but I haven't quite decided on the pattern yet. It's quite a variegated yarn, so it's going to be quite a busy yarn. So I think it needs to be more of a texture than a complicated lace pattern or anything like that. But I will have a little look through my library, and when I cast them on, you will find out what I've cast on. Right. Yarny goodness isn't actually yarny goodness, as I said this week, but I have got a couple of things to share with you. First of all is a lovely book that I got in the post. A lovely friend sent me this. It is 200 crochet blocks for blankets, throws and afghans. And it's gorgeous. It's got loads and loads and loads of crochet squares in it. It's also got kind of suggestions for ways that you could put those squares together to create blankets and to create afghans, as you can see. And then it's also got just lots and lots of kind of the individual squares, and a real nice mix as well of kind of ones that use multiple colours and also kind of ones that just use single colours. So these ones I reckon would be really, really good for scraps. So you could kind of make a scrappy blanket using your scraps and leftovers, but trying out all the different kind of laced patterns, which I'm quite tempted to do, actually. I think what I might do at some point is I might have a little look through this book, find some blocks that I really like the look of, and I might pick like a selection of, say, I don't know, 6 different blocks or something like that, and then just crochet up loads using scraps and then put them together in like one big crochet blanket that's just mostly kind of the different lace blocks. It would be a really good kind of practice for my crochet, because if you're a regular viewer of the podcast, you'll know that most of my crochet knowledge has come just from watching YouTube tutorials, and I'm quite simplistic in my crochet approach. So this will help me learn lots of new techniques and things like that, hopefully. So thank you very, very much. I'm really excited to kind of get stuck in and cast on more blankets. Maybe not for a little while, but if I can restrain myself. But yeah, the book is, as I said, 200 crochet blocks for blankets, throws and afghans, and it's by Jan Eaton. And yeah, I'm really excited to have a look through it properly. And the other thing I wanted to share is something I purchased from a lovely new business. It's not yarny related at all, but you'll have heard me talk about Jessie Marie Makes before. She has a number of pattern designs. In fact, the autumn adventure socks that I finished last week were designed by her, and she also has project bags. She sells project bags. I haven't got one up here actually, but I've got a few that you will have seen over the course of the podcast from Jessie as well. But she has just started a new business which is called Eclectic Erudite, if I can get that up there. And she's basically, it's kind of her artwork. And I mean, how gorgeous is that? It's just like a little thing. Her proper logo is just there. And I purchased, her shop launched last weekend, I think. and I purchased a few little bits from her shop. So I picked up one of her packs of postcards because these are gorgeous. I mean, the back of them is gorgeous as well. I mean, look at that. And these are her insect pack. But how fun are these? I love the kind of moths. Really, really gorgeous. The background again? Yeah. And then I also picked up a little hot air balloon sticker. And she popped in one of her eclectic Eurodite stickers as well. So a really, really lovely new and upcoming business. She's got all kinds of stuff on there. She's selling some kind of planner sheets and things like that. She's got stickers, note cards. She's even got some of her prints and stuff done on tea towels and project bags and fabric and things like that. So well worth a look. I just wanted to give her a little shout out really, because the stuff she's doing is absolutely gorgeous, and I can remember what it's like as a new business, finding your feet and all of that kind of thing. So not yarny related, but still lovely. Yeah, if you're a fan of kind of journaling stuff and things like that, then I'm sure you'd be able to find kind of note cards and stuff on her website. And as always, I will make sure it's linked down below so you can find it. Right, shop news. What did I want to talk about shop news wise? Yorkshire Yarn Fest. I am vending at the, I feel like I'm low down now. There we go. A bit better, maybe? I am vending at the virtual Yorkshire Yarn Fest on Saturday the 27th, so Saturday coming. And what am I going to have? Honestly, there's not masses of new stuff coming to the shop, because with everything that's gone on so far this year and lockdown, creativity has been a little bit stumped, and I've not been able to come up with a brand new collection of any kind. But what I am doing is I am restocking, maybe, let's say restocking some of my collections. So I will have my Flower Fairies collection. They're all going to be available for as dyed to order. So at the moment, I've just got them dyed up on merino nylon. So we've got the Lavender Fairy, Primrose Fairy, Acorn Fairy, Daisy Fairy, and Cornflower Fairy. So at the moment, I've just got one dyed up on merino nylon of each, but you'll be able to, they'll be dyed to order, so you'll be able to pick your base. And I will have back in stock the mini skein bundles, 20 gram mini skein bundles, where you get one mini skein of each colour. So I will be doing that with my Flower Fairies collection. I will also be doing that with my Bedtime Stories collection. That's what's in this box here, but I haven't skeined them up yet, and I haven't turned them into mini skeins. I will also be doing that with my Little Women collection, hopefully. I say hopefully because this week I've got to dye the Grimm's Club, the Once Upon a Yarn Club, and get the Little Women dyed and all the minis made up and everything like that before Saturday. But hopefully, with the kids going back to school, hopefully it will be achievable. But yeah, I will be doing exactly the same with the Little Women collection. I'm hoping to dye up my pink gradient minis, which I haven't got to show you, but similarly to the blue and red ones that I released again earlier in this year, I'm hoping to get the pink ones dyed up as well. And then I have also dyed up some spring mini bundles. Spring is the theme for the show. Yorkshire Yarn Fest quite often like to have a special theme for the show, and this time round they have chosen spring as the theme. So I have dyed up some spring mini bundles. Yeah, so you've got one kind of variegated pinks and yellows and greens. There's two speckledy colours. One which is pinks and yellows and oranges. One which is, hotter pinks with some greens and again oranges and yellows in there. And then there is a pink mini which has got the occasional little tiny pop. I don't know if you can see it there. Occasional little tiny pop of yellow in there too. and the same with the green. We've got a pale green mini skein, which again has got the occasional tiny little pops of yellow in there too. So yeah, that will be my little spring mini bundles, which will be available. They'll be available as 20-gram minis on my normal merino nylon base, and then I'll also have them available as 10-gram minis, but on the high twist base. What else did I want to talk about? Oh, I will be popping a newsletter out hopefully this week. So if you've not signed up to my newsletter yet, you can do that down below. But hopefully I will be getting a newsletter up with everything that will be going in Yorkshire, up in the shop update for Yorkshire Yarn Fest. My time slot is 4:20, I think. So I will probably aim to do the shop update at around 7 p.m. I'll do my live on Instagram. It'll be over on the Yorkshire Yarn Fest Instagram. And then I will pop it up on my grid and on Yorkshire Yarn Fest grid, so people have got a chance to watch it, and then I'll probably do my shop update at about 7 p.m. Right. What else? Final thing I wanted to mention. I've been having a little think about my Once Upon a Yarn Club, and I thought something that might be quite nice to do to kind of accompany it is if I did a reading of the stories from the club. So obviously January was Hansel and Gretel, and this month is Snow White. So what I'm thinking of doing is the Grimm's stories are public domain. So I have got an original translation of the stories, which should be public domain and should be copyright free. I will be making sure that the videos aren't monetized, just in case there are any copyright issues that I've missed. But my plan is literally to just have a couple of videos that I will pop up in a playlist on my channel where I am just reading the story from the month. So I will go back and I will do the Hansel and Gretel one, and I will do the Snow White one, and then each month going forward I will pop a video up each month of me reading the original Grimm's fairy tale story. They're only short stories, so they're not going to be long, but I know that I haven't read, although I'm doing the club, there's a lot of the stories in the club that I've not read the original Grimm's fairy tale story from. And they are quite different from the versions that we are used to, particularly things like Snow White, where we're more used to kind of the Disney versions. So I thought it would be fun, and I'm sure many of you that have joined the Yarn Club, and even if you haven't joined the Yarn Club but are still interested, many of you might be interested just to hear the original Grimm's fairy tales. The videos will probably mostly just be me. Obviously I'll be reading the book, so I won't be looking at the camera that much, but it will be the kind of thing that you can just pop on and listen to for 5-10 minutes, and I'll read you a story. So I'm going to hopefully, I'll have a look at the time once I finished recording this, but I'm hoping to get the Hansel and Gretel one recorded today, and then I'll do the Snow White one maybe at some point during the week. And yeah, I just thought that might be quite good fun. Right, I'm going to have a sip of tea and then I'm going to say goodbye. Yeah, that was it. Thank you very, very much for watching. I seem to have talked for longer than I normally would during a shorter episode, but oh well. I will see you all next week, and next week will be a longer episode, so hopefully I will have a few other bits and pieces to share. I've certainly got a book to talk about. If I get my act together this week, I'll have a little bit more spinning to share. But we will see what I can fit into a longer episode. Thank you very much for watching this one, and I hope you all have a lovely week, and I will see you all again next week.